Let's face it, most people in crypto are searching for that one opportunity that they can chuck a few $1,000s into, fall asleep, and wake up to life-changing wealth. That's the crypto dream, right? The amazing thing is that these crazy opportunities still exist in crypto. I mean, DeFi has already minted its fair share of new crypto millionaires in 2020. However, here's the truth. Most of those new millionaires got into DeFi before 2020 had even kicked off. We all know that to maximize those gains, you need to identify that hot new sector early, get an informational advantage over everyone else, and take a position in it. That's why I've spent the last few months trying to identify the next hot crypto sector. Those that follow this channel will know that I have a sneaky suspicion that the next sector to explode will be the NFT sector. I'm Guy, and today I reveal the top 5 NFT sector plays that have amazing potential. I'll be going over the different types of NFT plays and explain why they might be worth looking at. All that is to help you identify the best NFT gems out there. Before I get started, I need to say a few things. Don't let my custom t-shirt fool you. I am no financial advisor. Sorry, folks. That means that this video is for educational purposes only. Be sure to speak to your financial guy before making any financial decisions. Now, if you stumbled upon my channel for the first time, then welcome to the Bureau. I spend my time researching and creating coin reviews and handy guides just like this one. So if that's something you think you can benefit from, then you can become a member of Team Coin Bureau by obliterating that subscribe button and turning on all those notifications. Do that and you'll never miss another video. Bliss! Now finally, I know that time is one of the only things in the world that you cannot buy. That's why I have provided useful timestamps below. You can use them to skip ahead to the bits of my analysis that you want to watch. Okay, have you got that pickaxe handy? Let's go NFT gem mining. To kick things off, if you're not quite sure what an NFT is, then I would highly recommend that you first learn all about the ins and outs of them by watching my dedicated NFT video right here. So, how big is the NFT sector? Well, it is honestly pretty small right now, with the whole sub-niche having only recently hit $100 million in total sales. Now that may sound like a lot, but to put that figure into context, the DeFi niche has over $10 billion in locked value right now. Another way to think about that $100 million figure is that it represents about 1/6 of the market cap of Aave. That's just one DeFi project amongst many. So yeah, it is really early days when it comes to the NFT sector, and that means there's tremendous potential upside. But where can you get the most upside? Well, to understand that, it's useful to know what NFTs are being used for right now. Basically, a host of different companies have begun to deploy NFTs amongst a number of different sectors. This includes areas like video games, digital art, collectibles, intellectual property, insurance, digital rights, and more. So one way of viewing the NFT sector could be to view it through the lens of themes. Let's take video games as an example here. Now, one might argue that games could be a massive driver for NFT growth, given that over $100 billion is spent globally on digital game spending. This is projected to grow to $129 billion by 2021. Then you could look at the recent partnership between Coincheck and Enjin, which aims to create an NFT for the massively popular game Minecraft. So, how big is Minecraft? Well, an astonishing 126 million players. So there could literally be millions of new NFT holders very soon due to those incoming Minecraft NFTs. Even more excitingly, this brings NFTs to a mainstream audience that already understands things like virtual currencies. So yes, that could be massive news, not just for NFTs, but also wider crypto adoption. Also, if NFT use really kicks off for a game like Minecraft, then other game developers are likely to look at implementing these types of tokens into their own games. That's got the potential to open the proverbial floodgates and see an explosion in NFT use. The problem I have with looking at a sector in terms of themes is that they're constantly changing. In the past, I took a thematic approach to analysing crypto sub-niches and found that it was easy to get caught up in the hype of just one or two news articles. Needless to say, that usually resulted in bad outcomes. So, what methodology do I use to analyse the NFT market? Personally, I break up each emerging crypto niche into different investment categories. I find this helps you visualise how value is captured in any given sub-niche and helps you make better decisions. As things sit, I think there are 5 major NFT categories, and I want to share these with you. First is what I call ecosystem platform tokens and infrastructure. The most straightforward way to get exposure to NFT infrastructure would probably be betting on base layers or layer 2 sidechains. An example of that base layer would be Ethereum, and an example of layer 2 sidechains in the NFT space would be something like XDAI. Watch my dedicated video here if you want to learn more about that. However, the problem that I have with these types of broad infrastructure plays is that they are unfocused and will produce lower NFT-specific returns. After all, there's way more to Ethereum than just NFTs. Personally, I prefer more concentrated plays when it comes to emerging sectors. If I am correct in my call, then I want to enjoy some serious upside. That's why, when it comes to NFT infrastructure, I'm more focused on investing in platforms that help people create NFTs rather than broad infrastructure plays like Ethereum. That way, I get more exposure to the sub-niche. However, the problem with these types of focused infrastructure plays is that history has shown us that they are susceptible to a winner-takes-all outcome. Now, the reason why is due to network effects over time. Think about how niches are dominated by the likes of Facebook and Google. That's all due to network effects. So, if you pick a losing NFT infrastructure play, then be prepared to see that investment go to zero. My second category is individual NFTs and collectibles. Honestly, folks, I think this is where the highest risks and rewards lie. The problem here is that this NFT category is mainly reserved for the very rich or very knowledgeable. So, what do I mean by this? Well, let's take NFT art as an example. Digital masterpieces from already established artists can be bought. However, you'll be shelling out over 100 ETH to get your hands on some of these. The truth is that these more expensive pieces are the lowest risk and have the best chances of future price appreciation. Whereas that budget art piece for maybe 1 ETH is likely nothing more than a gamble that the artist will become well known one day. So it's a bit like finding a needle in a haystack. Yes, you might think you are a digital art connoisseur with the ability to pick that one piece that will become insanely popular in the future. However, I personally see that as a massive gamble. The way I like to invest in the individual NFT and collectible category is by selecting games or domain extensions that I think are likely to succeed and cherry-pick the most promising collectibles. However, this strategy relies on the outright success of a specific game or domain extension. Yes, this is still a big risk, but I think it's somewhat easier to spot a successful collectible game or domain extension than it is to spot a future Hall of Fame artist. The next NFT category is NFT platform governance tokens. These tokens are tied to specific NFT-related platforms and generally hold a claim on the fees from the platforms which they govern. The important thing to note here is that not all governance tokens are created equal. The main thing to consider is the assets that they govern. Marketplaces, or revenue-generating assets, have a distinct advantage over those that can never provide a claim to any cash flows. A really interesting way of viewing this NFT play is that it's a bit like buying an index of all the different NFTs on a specific platform. So what do I mean by this? Well, If I had my own governance token for a marketplace called Guy's NFT Quickie Mart, for example, then that governance token would effectively represent an index of tokens listed on that marketplace. My fourth NFT category is finance NFTs. One example of this could be fractional ownership. This actually helps quite a bit when it comes to price discovery. To explain that, let's say there's an insanely expensive piece of unique blockchain art. It's worth $1 million in ETH. The fact the collectible is unique means that it's incredibly hard to find fair market value. That problem can be solved by fractional ownership of the art piece. The reason why is that the asset simply becomes more liquid. Another interesting use case is insurance. I think everyone knows one of the main risks in DeFi is poorly coded smart contracts. So wouldn't it be amazing if you could insure against that? Well, this is actually possible with financial NFTs. And finally, you could have NFTs that represent ownership of some intellectual property. Think patents, trademarks, etc. These could be a great way to immutably store that ownership record on the blockchain. The fifth and final NFT category is the least developed. That would be NFT-related social coins. So, I could create a social coin called GuyCoin, and you might need a certain amount of GuyCoin to join my Telegram group, for example. Now, that would be a pretty basic example of these types of NFTs. Sure, some big-time celebrity might make a hugely successful NFT, however, I cannot see that happening anytime soon, to be honest. That's why I'm personally not looking to dabble in this NFT subsector right now. So, now that you know all about how I view the NFT market, right now, I want to move on to my top 5 NFT plays. At number 1, I have blockchain domains. I would categorize these NFT assets as being individual NFTs and collectibles and being high-risk, high-reward plays. So what are blockchain domains? Well, they can function like a regular domain, which means they are addresses that internet users can use to access a website. A top example of that would be a little website called coinbureau.com. Blockchain domains act in a similar way, but instead the domain asset is on a blockchain. So why bother with all that? Well, blockchain domains can do two main things that regular domains can't. The first is that the domain can be used as a regular payment gateway. That means you can attach all your crypto addresses to a single domain. So instead of sending that random jumble of letters and numbers, you can just say, "Hey dude, send that ETH to guy.eth." Pretty damn easy if you ask me. The second benefit is that you can build censorship-resistant websites on them. That means that no one apart from the domain owner can take them down. Damn useful if you're a journalist in a country under authoritarian leadership. The real cool thing is that you can store these blockchain domains in your crypto wallet, and that's all done using NFTs. The way that I look at this asset class is that it's very much like investing in a Rolex watch. You can use and enjoy those domains as a cool wallet address or even put up a website. However, it's an asset that you can flip in the future should there be a lot of money in it. History has shown that there's actually a very good track record of people making literal boatloads of money by flipping domains. To understand that, let me take you back to the 1990s, a time when girl power was all the rage and David Beckham was preoccupied with chasing after posh spice. Now, many of you were probably like me and distracted by things like Spice Girls concerts. Well, I hope not. Anyhow. However, there were a handful of people who spent their time securing themselves some hot .com domains for a few dozen dollars. So, what are some of those domains worth now? Well, if you had the foresight to get your hands on the domain voice.com, you could have banked yourself a tidy $30 million. The incredible thing is that most domain sales are private, and $10 million plus domains are actually more common than you think. Take crypto.com, for example. A humble university professor managed to increase their bank balance to the tune of $12 million on that one. Blockchain domain extensions like .eth and .crypto have already proven value too, with exchange.eth changing hands for 6,600 ETH and sex.crypto fetching a whopping 230 ETH. The real crazy thing is that blockchain domains are still incredibly niche, and yet they are already selling for some pretty high valuations. Think about how much these domains could go for if they really catch on. So, here's the million-dollar question. Which crypto domain extension should you be looking at? Well, .eth is pretty damn expensive, and you'll have to pay to renew that domain every year. However, that brings with it an opportunity, as currently there are a ton of super desirable .eth domains lapsing. For example, on the 24th of October, the domain alex.eth will be available for anyone to get. So if you want to do a bit of .eth domain sniping, then you can do that at ens.domains. There's a link to that in the description. Right now, my favorite domain extension is .crypto, and the reason why is that I think it's the most versatile blockchain domain extension. Whereas you can only accept ERC20 tokens to your .eth address, you can accept all of these cryptocurrencies right here with a .crypto. Bitcoin, Cardano, Tezos, Monero, the list goes on. Also, those .crypto domains don't have any annual renewal fees. It's a one-time cost to get them, and that's it. Interested in getting your hands on a .crypto domain or two? Well, you can do that at Unstoppable Domains. Link to that in the description below. Also, if you want to learn some of the techniques I personally use to find hot crypto domains, then you might want to check out my video right here. Now, I've spoken about domains enough, and it's time to move on to my next NFT play. At number 2, I have Enjin. Enjin is probably the best example of a pure NFT blockchain gaming platform. What it enables developers to do is to create their own games on Ethereum with their own currencies or in-game items and issue these as NFTs. Honestly, folks, Enjin is probably one of the most innovative NFT-focused projects out there. They're actually the team who created the increasingly popular ERC1155 standard. In short, this is an improved version of ERC20 and ERC721. It combines the benefits of both non-fungible and fungible tokens. So, what do I mean by this? Well, let's take a game like World of Warcraft as an example. Within the game, you have gold as a fungible in-game currency. However, there are also magic items that are unique and non-fungible. What ERC1155 does is that it enables the issuance of both fungible and non-fungible tokens, which is pretty critical for any game developer considering implementing crypto assets into their game. The key thing to note is that the way to get exposure to the project is via Enjin Coin, which derives its utility as the collateral required to forge those fungible or non-fungible in-game items. That means that if a super popular game comes around and a ton of in-game items are forged, Enjin will have to be locked up as collateral to do so. This, of course, means a reduction of the Enjin circulating supply. Last time I checked, shrinking supply and increased demand is generally very good news for the price of an asset. This year, Enjin is bringing us those Minecraft NFTs with a little help from CoinCheck. So I have a sneaky suspicion that this could result in a heck of a lot of Enjin coins being locked up to forge those in-game items. Honestly, there is so much I could say about this project, but I really must move on. If you'd like to learn more about Enjin, then be sure to watch my dedicated coin review right here. My third NFT opportunity is Rarible. This September, Rarible surpassed OpenSea as the leading NFT marketplace out there and crushed its closest competitor by achieving over 10 times the sales volume. The really interesting thing is that Rarible's rise saw a decline in competitor sales volume at the likes of SuperRare, and that indicates that Rarible is successfully cannibalizing users from other NFT marketplaces. So, what types of NFTs are being sold on Rarible? Well, if you hop on over to the marketplace, you'll find everything from in-game items, rare blockchain art, those hot blockchain domains, and insurance. The super interesting thing about Rarible is that it's the only NFT marketplace that I know of which aims to become a decentralized autonomous organization. That means it will be run by users for users. A key component of that is a governance token called Rarible, which is how you can get portfolio exposure to Rarible. What Rari is used for is to influence decisions and incentivize certain actions in the Rarible marketplaces via voting. As things sit, votes and proposals by token holders are advisory and not binding. So it is essentially the Rarible community saying, hey, we would like this to happen. But the Rarible team has the final say. That being said, Rari holders should get full control over the marketplace in the future, and I can only assume that will include the distribution of marketplace fees back to token holders. When I combine all this with the fact that Rari trades at a market cap of sub $6 million at the time of shooting this video, I find it hard to ignore this type of potential upside. Recently, I've done a comprehensive video on Rarible and the tokenomics of Rari, so if you're interested in learning more, then you'll want to watch the video right here. At number 4, I have Yinsure. This is a new type of NFT token which represents Yearn.finance smart contract insurance underwritten by Nexus Mutual. That means that it's now entirely possible to take out tokenized insurance policies on your DeFi activities and protect yourself against poorly coded smart contracts. The main thing to know is that these insurance policies are for different amounts and apply to different cryptocurrencies and platforms. You can, for example, insure your DAI or ETH on different platforms like Uniswap, Compound, or Synthetics. Imagine if you're the type of person that hasn't dipped their toes into DeFi yet because you're worried that a smart contract could mess up and lead you to lose all your funds. You might want to get yourself some NFTs to protect against that outcome. These NFT insurance policies are actually tradable on the Rarible marketplace. That means there's potential to actually profit from flipping them if there is FUD surrounding one of the platforms they insure. So, yes, this is certainly a new type of NFT asset that you should certainly have on your radar. It's now time for my 5th NFT play. Drum roll, if you please. It's Reality Cards. Now, Reality Cards is a brand new prediction platform which allows you to own the outcome of specific events. Basically, each outcome is represented by a unique non-fungible token. For example, we might take the US election. So, if you think that Donald Trump will win the election and the implied odds on Reality Cards were lower than you think they should be, then it would be in your interest to rent the Donald Trump NFT. Once the event is over, the total rent collected from all the different outcomes is shared amongst those who owned the winning outcome. The really interesting thing is that this rent is split according to how long people have owned the NFT. So, if you make a correct prediction and have a high hold time, you receive a higher share of the rental pool. Conversely, if you have a lower rental time, you will receive a lower portion. To rent a card, you need to input 2 bits of info. The first is your initial deposit in DAI, which is sent to the smart contract. Secondly, you need to specify the daily rental price per day. This comes out of your deposit. That Donald Trump card might be owned by someone else. But if you set a daily rental price at 10% above what the current owner is paying, you can take it off their hands and own the outcome. Oh yes, the chaps at Reality Cards have also noticed the ridiculous gas fees on Ethereum. As a direct result of that, they have started testing out the platform using XDAI, an Ethereum sidechain solution. Currently, Reality Cards is in closed beta. However, what the platform offers is a cool and innovative way to back your predictions using NFTs. I honestly love the idea, and there is a governance token and liquidity mining set to come out in 2021. So, if you like what you see here, then you might want to keep an eye out and scoop up those governance tokens when they become available. Alright team, this video is getting long, and so it's time to share my closing thoughts. So, in case you've been tracking my different NFT investment categories, I have picked Enjin as my ecosystem platform pick, Yinsure as a finance NFT bet, Rarible and Reality Cards to give me NFT governance exposure, .crypto and .eth blockchain domains as individual NFTs and collectibles. In case you haven't guessed, I'm super excited about that CoinCheck and Enjin partnership, and I cannot wait to see how successful those Minecraft NFTs will be. Honestly, that alone has the potential to supercharge the NFT markets and kickstart some serious NFT trading action on marketplaces like Rarible. Honestly, NFTs are one of the most exciting crypto market segments. However, I do need to warn you that finance NFTs and collectibles are not particularly liquid at all right now. So, if being able to get out of an NFT position matters to you, then you might want to stick to ecosystem platforms like Enjin for your NFT exposure. With all that being said, I've personally loaded up on quite a few .crypto domains, and I'm fine with the idea that I might not be able to shift these anytime in the near future. I guess time will tell if that's a good call or not. And so that rounds up the list of my top 5 NFT plays. I've done enough waffling, and it's now time to hear your thoughts. Do you think NFTs will be the next crypto sector to explode? And what do you think of my picks? Let me know in the comments. And finally, if you want to let this crypto guy know that he's doing a good job, then remember to smash that like button. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, then make sure to subscribe.